Be brave. Be brave.
Jamie and I are here at the Warrior Race to take part. Jamie, you ready? Let's do it. Fritz, thank you so much for joining CEOwise.
Thanks, Dan.
Now, I've been told on more than one occasion by more than one person that you were instrumental in the growth of mountain biking in South Africa. Would you agree with that?
Sure, that's a difficult one. We obviously had shops and events, I think, that was important in the sport at some stage. And I was just a passionate mountain biker that loved the sport. And I wanted to make it my hobby and my work, and I put a lot of effort into the events in the shops, and if that in turn was great for the sport, it's awesome. And I think we probably some of the big shops or big events at different stages, but still up to the people out there to also buy into the sport and participate in events and buy from the stores, and so it's not really my doing, it's the whole community.
Now, you're a 3-time South African cross-country champion, and now at that time there wasn't mountain biking wasn't a big sport, and there wasn't much sponsorship or exposure, and that's when you decided to go into a cycling shop. Do you think that's where your entrepreneurial journey began?
For sure. As you said, that when I wanted to race pro, there wasn't really such a thing as a pro mountain bike in the country. We could get endorsement deals and equipment, but we couldn't really get money, not enough to make a living from. So I had to work most of the day in a bicycle shop, so I trained really early in the morning and then be on my feet all day to help customers. And that just saw the opportunity at some stage to buy over a shop where I was working. The owners was interested in selling, and luckily I found the right partners to go into the business with me, and Heinrich still my partner today, that loaned me some money back in 2001 to buy over the first shop.
Okay. And now, since then, you've started an endurance event company called Advendurance, and you run multiple series in the year, which is the National Mountain Bike Series, the Trail Seeker Series, which is in Gauteng and the Western Cape. You've got Dualex, which is a duathlon series. You even got a snow bike series in Gstaad in Switzerland, the Tour of Legends, and the Warrior Race. I mean, with having so many events, how do you keep focused?
Yeah, I must say the last 2 years has been difficult. We almost had too many events, close to 30 events in a year.
Wow.
We close over December, so out of 50 odd weekends, that means you've got two events out of 3 weeks. So it takes away from family time, but to me it still beats any office job or any desk job. And yeah, we've got a great team behind us. So I think if you're passionate about what you do and you get like-minded people that's also passionate and that also love their job, it's easy to bring it together.
You also started SA Seeding, which is a batch ranking or a participation ranking system. Now, how long do you stick with an idea before you give up?
Yeah, so most of the ideas or most of the business we started out of either necessity or just really passionate about it. So SA Seeding was one of the businesses started out of a necessity. In 2008 we started in the Trail Seeker series and quickly grew, and we saw a problem that people started in one big batch and they just bottlenecked at the first single track, and we didn't want to take away from the fun elements of the event, so we decided, listen, we need to get results to see who's stronger and start them in separate batches. So even though it initially didn't make money, we believed it helped the quality of our events. So and we also realized that there's a lot of other events that will have the same problem that we had. So it's a service that we could offer for other events, and at the moment SA Seeding pretty much batches all the big events, whether it's a signing to sea or a wine to Wales or the Epic Start Lister. We provide services to most of the big events. But yeah, I didn't really start the business and stick with it, to answer your question. It was just we felt that even though it didn't make money, we really needed it for our business, and we kept going at it, and in the end it was worthwhile.
Okay. With all these businesses behind you, how do you keep on reinventing yourself? Do you look at overseas markets, or do you just focus on finding a niche and strategizing here in South Africa?
Yeah, my issues are almost the opposite of that. I tend to see opportunities and just want to pursue them, and I almost need to hold back and focus on, because we've got some great businesses and great staff, and it's easy to lose focus of your core business and just try and tackle something else. So that's one of my biggest challenges, and I don't actually go out and look for business opportunities, but if something does come up and I see, gee, there's an opportunity, the next thing we're in Switzerland and we're doing an event, or we took on warrior race without really planning and saying, listen, we're looking for a new event. So I think there's a lot of opportunities out there. The more difficult thing for me is choosing the best ones and just sort of taking the low-hanging fruit and making that count.
But I guess it works on gut feeling as well. I mean,
very much. Like most of what I do with partnerships and business and that is on gut feel and passion. If something works for me and I'm really passionate about, it's most likely going to be fun and work for someone else out there as well.
When you're dealing with live events, how can you minimize risk and optimize damage control?
Yeah, that's a difficult one. Events are very stressful. I think people don't realize that, but every event is this deadline that there's no scope to move it. So on this weekend, we knew there was going to be 5,000 warriors coming, and sometimes there's difficult circumstances with weather and rain, and the venue here had 4 events in 4 weeks, so we didn't realize it, but some of the space where we wanted to set up obstacles was on 94.7 mountain bike challenge route, so we had to move stuff around and schedule it. So it's difficult. You have to just manage, but I think again we've got a great workforce. They know that there's certain times that we just have to graft and that everyone puts in 110%. But there's also other times where there's good holidays and where we get rewarded for the hard work through the year.
You've done a great job in marketing Advendurance. What has been the most successful form of marketing for you?
Yeah, for us it's been word of mouth. I think that's always very strong. So if you've got a good event and people talk about it, it quickly spreads. But we're also very active on social media. We've got a good team and we put really good content out there. The ideal is to put content out there that people, if they see it, they should want to do the event. So it must look like fun and it must be fun, otherwise you don't get that content. But yeah, if you could put good content, good images and videos out there, and yeah, direct marketing, a lot of emails. Whenever someone enters, we really look after the data and build a database of email, and then social media is probably second biggest. But we're also veering into Google AdWords, YouTube adverts, some normal television with the Advendurance TV. So it's a fairly widespread.
Let's bring on to my next question, Advendurance TV. Did you build that because there were no one to air your content? How did that come about?
That we actually needed to give return on investment. So in our business we've got 2 really important clients. The one is a sponsor that sponsors the event. If without them we can't host the event, we can't make it profitable. And the TV gives a lot of return on investment to the sponsor. But at the same time, the other client we get is a participant of the event. And it also showcases to them what the event is about. So we thought, okay, TV makes sense to us. And we had enough events to pretty much start a weekly or a bi-weekly. We've tried different scenarios. And I think it really got our brand out there to a lot of people.